Hi, this is Dawn Olszewski of DOstampingWithDawn.com, and I am here for another How'd She Do That video, and this time, look at how cute this little minion is. It's actually a mini minion. It is 2-inch square, and I used it for my seasonal sampler swap that I did with my downline, and so I thought that you guys would like to see how to put one together, so that's what we're going to do today. So let's get started. Alright, so I think the easiest way to get started is to first get out your colors. So you're going to need crushed curry. Alright, so we're going to start with the square. This is a 2-inch square of crushed curry. And that's kind of what everything gets built onto. So I'm actually going to build his little pants and overalls, I should call it. So the first thing that you're going to need is a rectangle. This is 1.5 inch by 3/4 inch. Probably can't see that very well. There you go. And we're going to, before I adhere it on the card, I want a strip. These are 1/4 inch strips by 1 inch. Now I'm just going to use a long strip, and I'm going to show you how I do that. I'll back up here, move this aside. And I'm going to get out my glue dots, and I'm going to put a glue dot on either end here, one end and then the other end. And I'll start by just positioning it like this here. So if you can look closely, let's go in here. See how this kind of angle tip of our rectangle matches the angle there. And I'm just going to cut this in half. It's fine for now. And then I'm going to do the same thing on this side. So we'll just angle it like that. Okay, so there we go. Now we're ready to put it on the square. I'm just going to use snail this time, snail adhesive. Just a little bit here and a little bit there. Now you can see that these overall straps are a little long, and that's okay. I'd rather put them on like this, and then what I do is I just flip it over, move this back, and use our paper snips to trim them against the edge of the paper. So there's his cute little overalls. Now we want the little kind of rivets in there, and those came from the Cupcake Builder's punch. Now the Cupcake Builder punch I'm using both for the rivets and for part of his eyes. So we're going to go ahead and add them. Now they are so small from that Cupcake Builder punch that I'm going to use a 2-way glue pen. And I'm just going to add some glue here on both of these. And then, oop, one already stuck to my finger. I'm just going to use the tip of my scissors, there we go, to put that on and get that in the camera here real quick. And there. Now, another thing, oops, it's sticking to my finger. That's the only other thing with the 2-way glue pen. It is a little sticky. It does take just a bit to dry. So there we go. Let's see, he has a little pocket, and that pocket was built with the 3/4 inch punch, and then I just cut off, maybe 1/3 of it here. So I'll show you how. Here, I already pre-punched it, and then I'm going to just trim it like that. I'm going to use a glue dot. Glue dot is my favorite adhesive when I am doing punch art. Put that in the center here. And then let's see, we'll just set that aside for now. We're going to work on his little mouth here. So the mouth was done with basic black and a 3/4 inch punch. So here's the 3/4 inch punch, and what you want to do with to get this kind of it's just a sliver of the circle. So what you want to do is you want to kind of just like chop out a partial piece, and then you'll just come in as thick as you want it. I kind of want these not too thick, his mouth there. Oops, it went flying across. Here it is. So that's what it looks like. Oh, where to go? Here we go. And you're just going to take your paper snips and then trim off the edges of it. And we'll get his cute little smile. Not quite ready to add that, but we're just going to lay it on there, okay? Next we'll work on his eyes and his goggles. So the easiest way to do them is with the glue dots, and I already have them ready to go. So let me walk you through the eyes. Circle framelit I used for this largest piece here, which is in Smoky Slate. It is the smallest circle from the framelit. So those are ready to go. 1/2 inch circle for the white. Just going to put them right on top here. And then the next color was chocolate chip, and I used the Owl Builder punch for that. We'll come in with the chocolate chip ones, and see how easy this is when you just kind of lay them right on the glue dots, and see, I'm just building it right from there. Okay, at this point I am going to stop, even though we have one more piece to put on. It's just easier to do that in this next way that I'm going to show you how to do that. Alright, so for this piece, this is his like goggle strap, and it measures 1/4 inch by 1 inch. Alright, the thing that I like to do with this is maybe have a piece of plastic, and I'm going to put this down here because there's some glue dot here, and sometimes I don't get it exactly right on there, but I think we might be alright. And I do like to put his eyes, oops, so we're going to move his eyes a little bit here. There we go. I like to have them, see how the one is up and one is down? Isn't that cute? Okay, so I think we're good to go. And we're going to add the last center to it, which was, again, the cupcake builder. We're going to get back out my two-way glue pen, and we'll add that real quick. Okay, so I added one of those, the black dots in the middle of his eye from the cupcake builder, and then I'll get the next one here. Sure like using the tip of my paper snips for that, but you do want to kind of clean it off because you'll get some adhesive on the tip like that. Alright, so we are ready to add him. Look, isn't that cute? Now this is why we wait to add the mouth at the last bit, because we're going to put his eyes on next, and I'm just going to grab a couple more glue dots, probably one right in the center there, and then on the ends here. Now for my piece of black here, even though I said measure like 2 inches long, I think I might have measured mine a little longer. I'd rather trim it and instead of coming up a little too short. So there we go. Cute. We'll trim that off real quick. And then we'll add his mouth. And let's see, we're going to use the two-way glue pen and then get that on there. There you go. Couldn't see that. There. Kind of little, kind of a side mouth like that. Isn't that adorable? Just got one little decoration to add, and that is to his pocket here. Now you are going to need one more piece, and that's here, but it's the same size as that owl builder one, but it's in black now. I already have a glue dot on it, ready to go. Put that in the center of his pocket. And then one last thing. We're going to add a candy dot. And right to the center of that. How cute did he turn out? Isn't that adorable? So I will post this on my blog so that you can have kind of a photo of this kind of cheat sheet for the for punch art. But I also want to show you some cute thing that I did with it. So one of the things that my team has been doing, my stars, DOstamper stars, is we've been creating these what we call seasonal sampler squares. So seasons throughout the year, like Easter or Christmas, winter, fall, things like that. But we did a birthday one. Isn't this adorable? And he was my swap. So we each do 2 swaps. These are 2-inch squares, and then we mount them on whatever colors we want to do. So each person can decide once the squares have been swapped, they can mount them themselves. So I chose a Bermuda Bay and Strawberry Slush combination. The designer series paper on here is Kaleidoscope from the Occasions mini catalog, Stampin' Up! 2014. It ends in a couple weeks. Perfect for birthday paper. Now, I get a lot of questions about these, and the easiest way to mount them is once you have these are now 2 1/4 inch squares now. You can mount them onto a piece. I have them on a piece of, this measures 7 1/8 square. And all I do is I mount this one first in the bottom corner, and then this one, and then the spacing kind of comes together to this, and then again here, and then here, and then so on, working my way around that. And they do position out really nicely with those measurements. So this is one sheet. And then here is another. Aren't these cute? I did the owl one here, and my team did the rest of them. And I get a lot of questions about the frames. So let's see. This frame is very inexpensive. It's actually plastic. This is what it looks like on the back side. I think it even came with a piece of glass in there, and I just popped it out. Because I want more of a shadow box one because of the depth of some of the embellishments. This is a 9 by 9 inch frame, but other places you can get shadow frames that are 10 by 10 or 12 by 12. I kind of like the 10 by 10 one. But here's how this one would look inside this frame. Either way, I always mount them on this 7 1/8 inch square. And that way then I can mount that on whatever size piece that I want to use to coordinate with it. So there's just some tips for you. I hope you liked my little mini minion, and I hope you enjoyed the tips for the seasonal samplers, and well, maybe you'll make one someday. I hope you have fun. Stop by my blog at DOstampingwithDawn.com for lots more creative ideas and inspiration.